Yeah, thank you. My feeling is, very happy.
SISSOKO.
Hey guys, what's going on? It is your boy Ticccy here, and today we have Road to the Final Sissoko yet again, but this is his upgraded version. And I'll tell you guys one thing, this card is something else with this upgrade. For me, his 84 was incredible and he played almost like a Vieira, but this card, man, with the boosts he's got in every category, it has really changed how he is. Nice. So getting into things, he is still 6'2", high work rates, but keep in mind, reviewing this card, I have in fact had an elo of 7-0 all the way up to 11-1. So we have been versing very good opponents in every single one of these matches, and it's really given me an idea of how he plays in game. And I'll tell you what, Shadow for me is the perfect chem style for him. Without a doubt, Shadow just makes him electric on and off the ball. It means he can get to and from places with ease, and really not very many players can catch him in the midfield. Meanwhile, shooting stats, he may not be the best at shooting, but I'll tell you what, he can rip it. Passing wise, all over the park, he looks phenomenal. And in-game, he does seem phenomenal as well. And then we move on to dribbling with a face card stat of 86. However, the one problem with his dribbling is the 71 agility and 64 balance. Is that good enough? That is the real question. And that really will separate this card from a lot of players, whether he is good or bad. But we will in fact deep dive further into that later on in the video. And then defending wise, off the charts, absolutely phenomenal. And then physical stats, you're not really gonna find someone that can rival him. So in saying all that, where can he play? He can play center mid, he can play CDM. I wouldn't recommend him cam, but speaking to people in my chat on Twitch, link down below by the way, they have said that he is an incredible center back, so don't be afraid to play him center back. Personally, I wouldn't, just because of how expensive he is. I'd rather you guys spend that kind of money for a center mid, not really a center back. But if you do have this card, feel free to try him center back. He might be for you, he might not be. I personally haven't tried him there, but it's up to you yet again. And then traits wise, he does have solid player. I still don't know what solid player does. I would love to know. If you guys do happen to know what it does, please let me know in the comment section down below. I don't know what it does, but I'll tell you what, he feels like a solid player. So in saying all that, lads, this is the team we're playing him in. We have been playing a 4-3-1-2 and a 3-5-2, trying him in 2 different roles. And yeah, that's pretty much the team. Let's get on to the gameplay. Now, if you take into consideration the fact I'd already played about 230 games with this card, I already had a really good understanding of how he felt in game, and I'll tell you what, this upgrade has made a really big and pleasant difference. He is rapid, especially for a tall, stocky sort of center mid. This guy is electric, and yes, the shadow would have helped with that, but even without a shadow, this guy, you can still expect to be rapid. No, he doesn't have good acceleration, but that top sprint speed, being at 99 with a shadow, is just phenomenal. Meanwhile, the big talking point about this card is the potential for upgrades. This card for me is practically Baby Vieira. I want to say this guy's borderline better than Baby Vieira, and I've used Baby Vieira on multiple occasions on multiple different FIFAs. I haven't used him on this FIFA. This guy is better in my opinion as an overall center mid. Meanwhile, Vieira, yes, they have their similarities, but Vieira is a bit more defensive, but this guy is more well-rounded, and really you enjoy using him more because he's less clunky in my opinion. Meanwhile, moving on versatility wise, this guy can play a range of different positions. Don't be afraid to play him center back, don't be afraid to play him CDM. He can also play center mid. I recommend center mid, but the choice is up to you. Lots of people in my Discord / Twitch community have said that at center back, this guy actually feels really good and does an exceptional job. And I have no doubts about that, considering not only his pace, his dribbling, his defending, but really the main thing, his physical. He can body anyone and he can really outpace any attacker as well. So really he can play any defensive position in the spine of your team. And then the brute force of this guy, his physicality, his size, his strength, just everything works for this guy. You're not going to be able to run past him because A, he's going to body you, B, he's going to tackle you, C, he's going to slide tackle you, or D, he's going to outpace you. There's no option. No one has an option against this guy. This guy will win the ball 99% of the time. It is so difficult to roll this guy unless you overcommit, which is user error, not actually the card. However, if you do overcommit, this guy will more than likely still win the ball. And then something that really surprised me is his passing is really good. Like really good. I think over the course of the 5 games, I think he misplaced like 1 or 2 passes and that was literally it. And he was breaking the line continuously. They were more 50-50 passes, so it really could have gone either way. But I found this guy's precision with his passing absolutely phenomenal. And then also to match how he feels in game, you've got to talk about his work rates. High work rates, perfect for a box-to-box center mid, and this guy fills that role perfectly as well. I'm not really going to get into it though, because you guys will know for yourself. If you do like high in game, I personally love it, but it's not for everybody. And then to complete the full package, this guy has Prem links and French links. 2 of the most important links you need in a team nowadays. He has both of them. So in saying that, this guy can fit pretty much anyone's team. Let's be real, if you're rocking Varane and Mendy, he fits. If you're rocking any Prem players, he fits. He may not have the best club links, but he has everything else to go with it. However, there is a few cons, and I hate to say it, but his price. It's an obvious one. He comes at a steep asking price. A very steep asking price, and you've really got to consider where you are at financially with your team, because if it is all your coins in one hit, better off investing your coins into the whole of your team rather than just locking it into one position. Unless you have top tier players in every other position, then by all means go out and get this guy. However, if you do not have all the coins in the world and you don't have the most insane team, I'd hold out on this card for a little bit, but don't hold out too long, because this guy's going to get upgraded and he's going to get more expensive. So it's really a balancing effect whether you get him now or you get him later, because he's probably going to rise in price. And then finishing, he has 63 finishing, and you can't really expect him to finish everything, being a box-to-box sort of center mid. But overall, I didn't find his shooting that bad. What I found was his shot power is just lethal. So yes, he's not going to finish every shot, but often he will test the keeper. And then 9 times out of 10, you'll probably get a rebound out of it. And then the big blaring wow. I don't know if I'm going to add an effect in for that or just use that. But anyway, the big blaring con with this card is the agility. The agility. Yes, you expected it. Yes, it is a con. Based off initial thoughts, he doesn't actually feel clunky, and his agility really isn't that bad, but it is something to take note of. So I don't recommend going out and trying to dribble through plays. It's just not going to work for you, but it's not really that big of an issue, especially when you consider the fact he is going to continue to get upgrades throughout the Europa League. Hopefully they can make it to the final and that agility stat ends up being somewhere around the 80 mark. But until then, the agility will probably be a con. Is that going to deter you away from the card though? Enjoyment wise, I'm giving him a 9.2. Reason being is pretty much everything I just went over. 9.2, I think that's solid. I think overall he's a very enjoyable card. To be honest, you're not really ever going to use a center mid quite like him unless you use Vieira. But this guy has a little bit more than Vieira in my opinion, which is why I'm giving him a 9.2. And then 8.8 value for coins. It's hard because he is super expensive, but you've also got to consider where he may be at in the future. If this guy does continue to get upgrades, he's going to be worth more than this. So is it a good investment? Yes, unless they get knocked out. So really, to me, this guy should be the price of Baby Vieira, and Baby Vieira costs almost double this guy's price. So this guy is definitely worth it if you are tossing up between the two of them, especially considering the fact this guy is dynamic. But then again, as I said earlier, don't spend all your coins on one position if you don't have incredible players elsewhere. Anyway, lads, that'll wrap up the review. If you guys have any questions, any queries, feel free to drop a comment down below and let me know what you think of the video. As always, it's been your boy Ticccy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, etc, etc, yada 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 yada. And I will catch you all in the next one. Peace out, lads.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me.